All right. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh. And very good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our class today. Well, this is our first session for today in our Communication Skills 3 class. Today's topic, as you can see from our learning plan, that today's topic is on sharing opinions and experiences. So this topic is going to be covered in two lessons. Lesson one, in lesson one, you are going to learn how to ask about significant experiences and talking about important events. So these two skills in lesson one are going to help you how to share your experiences and talking about your opinions. Okay. All right. Now there are of course many expressions that you can use in order for you to ask about significant experiences and talk about important events. And here are some samples that are used in our today lesson. You can start by asking somebody something like, "Hey, I hear that." So this introductory expression, then you can follow it by, "Hey, I hear that you just moved," or "Hey, I hear that the class has started," or I hear that there is a new student in our class." These are all the way how you ask about significant experiences. Now, in response to this, you can say something like, "Well, it's one of the most exciting things I've ever done." So all these are available in your module. You can always try your best to practice those expressions until you feel comfortable when you speak to your friends. All right. Now, our point now is learning how to perform well in the conversation that you're going to listen in the audio files. I've already uploaded and made it available for all of you to download the audio files, both in lesson 1 and lesson 2. Now, let's try to do these one, okay? I want you to be very familiar with the way how you say those expressions, because at the end, you're going to say as normal as possible, as natural as possible, right? Now, look at this here, okay? This is, "Hi, Louis. I hear you've made a big change recently." So first you need to know whether this expression is the statement or asking question. If it is a statement, then the tone will be just normal. It's a falling tone at the end. So pay attention to the word recently. So it's gonna be falling tone at the end. "Hi, Louis. I hear you've made a big change recently." Hi, Louis. I hear you've made a big change recently. So look at that, made a. This one, made a. This is linked. So you can link the sounds, and it will sound like made a, made a big change recently. "Hi, Louis. I hear you've made a big change recently." "Hi, Louis. I hear you've made a big change recently." "Yeah, I have." Okay, this is also a statement, so it will be just natural. "Yes, I have." "Yes, I." You can say yes, I. This is the link. "Yes, yeah." Oh, not yes, huh? It's yes. So, yeah, I have. Okay, I have. I just got because it's the American English, so you can link got and it will sound like gotta. I just got a job as a. You can connect as a and then photographer because it is the pronunciation of this word is photographer. So it's and because it is just a statement, as I told you earlier, so it will take the falling tone. I just got I just got a job as a photographer. Oh yeah, I have. I just got a job as a photographer. As a photographer. I just got a job as a photographer. Oh wow! So this is the expression of surprise. Oh wow! See, after this is not a statement anymore, it's a question. How did you get into photography? That's the flat tone. And because it is the questions, it can take either uh, rising tone going up or falling tone going down at the end of photography. And since the question started with how, it is not by auxiliary verb like did, like does, do, or anything else. So it starts by how. The how, what, where, who, why, all these questions. When it uh, when a question starts by all these words, and it will take falling tone. How did you get into photography? How did you get into photography? But if you ask by but starting by did, then it will going up. Did you get into photography? Did you get into photography? It's going up. But because you start by how, then it will be going down. How did you get in American style, American accent? You can sound like get in, get in, get into photography. How did you get into photography? Oh wow! How did you get into photography? Okay, next. Okay, let's see. Oh, sorry, it's too much. Let me go up for a while. Okay, yes, there you are. Then Lewis would say, I had the opportunity to work with a photographer friend of mine, friend of friend of, you connect friend of, but you don't stress dov, you stress friend of, friend of mine. I had the opportunity to work with a photographer friend of mine. Statement, it's going down at the end, mine. And then I learned a lot. I learned, there is a d sound there, and then you connect with a learned. I learned a lot. I learned, or I learn, it's okay. But if you want to connect the d sounds, I learned a lot. I learned a lot from working with him. Him, you can just sound like him, so with him, with him. I learned a lot from working with him. So this is the, what do you call, going down, the falling tone, because it's just the statement. I also learned that I wanted to be a professional photographer. I also learned that I wanted, because this is the American style, American accent, so wanted. But the British style, they would say wanted. But if you check later in the audio file that I have already uploaded in our Google Classroom, you can download and you can listen. It will sound like wanted. I also learned that I wanted to be a professional photographer. Oh, that's great. Great. The spelling is great, but you pronounce great. That's great. Congratulations. Thanks. Oh, that reminds me, mean you want to ask something, okay? You want to confirm on something. Oh, that reminds me.